one. Just one. I just need this one. Trust me. The left hook.
I only need one too.
Okay.
You get that too.
That's fine. All right, then we both got it. We
Bro,
both got it.
Like, come on, bro.
I can't hear you.
I've heard you say that you don't like to bring your family to fights that you feel like are going to be a war. Do you feel like this is a fight that you'll bring your family to?
Nah. I don't think so. Nah, I won't bring them there.
Why? Do you feel like it's going to be a war?
I think it's more so leave the kids and the woman home.
Yeah.
For sure.
And let the men handle business?
Yeah. Even my mom's, you gotta stay home.
Really?
But my mom is she's tough. But nah.
See, mom's being at the fight is a mainstay. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen her at the fights, we've seen her talking to you, and you're like, Mom, what's up? You know, and then get back. But even this one, no mom dues.
Nah, it can get ugly.
This is strictly business.
On both sides. This is a 50-50 fight.
There was a huge buzz. It's more tense than a title belt. Finally, at the end, boxing's two biggest young stars, Gervonta Tank Davis and Terrence Bud Crawford, had a real, live, face-to-face fight that no one would ever forget. Tank and Bud's long-standing dislike turned into a full-on fight for the first time in years. By the end of the conversation, both boxers had agreed to settle their differences in the ring. This made the fight official, and it looks like it will be the most anticipated fight of the decade.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
Yeah, I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, you know, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Lights have flashed but wasted no time throwing shade. While the crowd screamed and the moderator panicked quietly, he went right for Tank's final fight against Lamont Roach, tearing apart that suspicious 9th-round knee like a murder scene.
The moment to kind of wrap your brain around that and make... Kavaliauskas comes forward, and Bud Crawford was hurt.
But wasn't just firing shots, he was criticizing the whole refereeing situation. This made fans wonder if Tank's defense against being destroyed was starting to weaken. Tank didn't flinch, matching the force and meeting each shot with a look. The thing is, he never really denied it. Not by the time they both calmed down, it was clear that this feud was not going to be resolved through simple conversation.
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
And now it is real. No more tuning ups, no more Tank and Bud will have sealed the deal, complete with a rematch option. This fall, they'll run it in Vegas. 12 games legacy on the line. Pound for pound power up for grabs. This is more than simply a fight, it is the moment. Let us restart. Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have had a tense friendship for months. Tank had been throwing subliminal shots for months, saying he could move up to 147 and beat anyone, including the best. And when people started asking about Crawford, he didn't back down. He leaned into the smoke.
47. How does a fight with you and Terrence Crawford look? 147? I tap that trend. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know who he is.
Got no chance.
I already know who he is.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
You got round 6.
Crawford, being who he is, was not going to dismiss it. When Tank's name came up in interviews, Crawford was careful to tell everyone that Tank had never battled anyone near to his level, even in the same universe. That was the starting spark.
How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible at a catch weight?
There ain't no catch weight.
come up to 47.
Not even entertaining the catchweight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And, what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at.
All right,
I'll welcome him.
Then came the controversial Ring magazine. Gala Tank was not even invited. Crawford was front and center. When asked about Tank's disappearance, Crawford did not mince words, and the jabs turned into haymakers. Crawford took it personally. For a long time, people would ask him, "Would you ever fight Tank?" He constantly seems unsure. He didn't really care. I mean, Terence Crawford is the world's best pound-for-pound fighter. He has nothing more to prove.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes, and, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-count.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
But this is no longer about showing anything. The goal is to humble Gervonta Tank Davis. It is now personal.
When people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck. If everybody at a Queen win, win. Fuck.
Question for you. Proud father.
Behind the scenes, talks began. A hypothetical but against Tank super fight. The biggest crossover event since Floyd vs. McGregor began to look genuine. And it now is. Nobody saw coming. Floyd Mayweather lurks in the dark, like a story twist. Yep, behind the scenes, the undefeated icon has low-key team up with Bud Crawford, basically putting his entire career on the line simply to watch Tank suffer his first defeat.
There was some kind of crazy trash talk with Gervonta and Terence Crawford recently. And one of the things that I've always kind of noticed is most of the time.
And let's be honest, Floyd knows Tank better than anyone. He shaped him, trained him, and led him through the beautiful science like a father figure.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, "You'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter." Years later, he was working with some people from our team because our team is huge. We got guys in DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9-0. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
However, behind closed doors it was deadly. Tank loathed how Floyd stole the limelight.
Like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub? Like he was subbing you? Like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love and hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of
deal. He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing
it.
Exclusive.
That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Tank no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
Floyd, on the other hand, despised Tank's tendency to get into problems and reflect badly on the company.
I remember first hearing
an issue between Floyd and Gervonta before Gervonta fought Pedraza. And the issue I heard was that Floyd didn't want Gervonta to stay in Baltimore because he felt there was too many distractions for him in Baltimore, and he wanted to stay in Vegas. And the story I was told at that time was that Floyd gave Gervonta one of his penthouses or one of his apartments in the Palms Hotel, and he said, "This is your apartment. I'll furnish it for you." He got him a Jeep. At the time, Gervonta was not a world champion. He got him like a Jeep, a 4x4. You know, he basically said, "I'll make it comfortable for you. I don't want you to go to Baltimore. I want you to stay here. I don't think Baltimore is the place for you," you know? And what I was told was Gervonta sold all the furniture, sold the Jeep, and went back to Baltimore and bought a Benz. You know, that's what I was told at the time. So
Fights over contracts, fights over money and power. It became so terrible that Tank announced openly that he was leaving Mayweather Promotions. But now that Calvin IV is finally out of Tank's corner, Floyd's presence on Bud's side feels different. It's generating to V1 energies, Floyd's top ring IQ and insider knowledge, and Tank trying to revert to his old school vicious mentality from when he first blew up.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with. Like, nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. I take that. Right hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
And given what happened in the Roach battle, that edge may be everything. Tank looked to be acting strangely. The knockout king paused. His swagger seemed forced. And when that 9th round knee happened, fear mode exhaustion, not what Tank fans are used to.
When you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need, what is it called? Yeah, man. I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
Tank, Eric Blum from DailyMail.com. First off, your coaches said, can you confirm, did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure. But hopefully we could get it before, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute. Definitely might see it in a minute.
Roach fully took over the subsequent rounds. And, to be honest, the draw felt more like a stalling tactic than a fair choice.
Clearly in there, man. I thought I won. I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate True Boxing Media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So that's just how I feel, man. I think I won. And I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
If Tank ignores it as a terrible night, Crawford makes it clear. He sees the cracks and prepares to break through them. So, what exactly does this mean for Tank? One word: salvation. This is his chance to quiet everyone. brush off the ring, rust, and show the world why he was once the most feared name in boxing.
Tank Davis. Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer, George was a puncher, Ernest Shavers was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in. Yeah, he fights to the level of competition. He was doing that a lot. And he gotta be careful with that. 2 fights ago, he was really doing that. You feel me? So you gotta be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you gotta be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
It's more than just a return. It's an important moment in his career, because losing here is more than just a loss, it's legacy damage. The big money fights dry up, and the aura diminishes.
Has there ever been a knockout artist that has conducted themselves so poorly? Because, like, in terms of not wanting to, like, he's moving like he's shook of some of these fights. He's scared to lose in his home crowd, doesn't want to lose in front of his people, them. Blah, these are his words. Tank himself has said he's afraid to lose, he's this and that. We see people start to cherry pick and start to be a bit nervous, normally when they're coming towards the tail end of their career, etc., etc., etc. And normally when they're more boxers. So it's like every fight is a long day at the office. For a knockout artist, do you ever see a knockout artist move this kind of shook?
I don't actually think Tank shook. He just has a very inaccurate perception of reality.
But he's moving shook. That's why they say he's shook, but he's moving shook. He won't win on points, but let Tank win on points. So let Tank get dropped a couple of times to come like a performance that looks a bit stinky. Because then his money's gonna drop.
Facts.
And now the whole situation's gonna be different.
However, it holds no value for Crawford. He's the bigger, more experienced, and more decorated fighter. If he defeats Tank, most people will shrug and say, yeah, that's what was supposed to happen. Canelo Alvarez is the true prize that everyone is looking for, and that fight is already planned for after this one. So this Tank battle is more of a setup, a warm-up, a chess move to create more excitement for the Canelo showdown. But here's the problem, that approach could backfire severely. If Tank comes in, bites down, and knocks out Bud in front of everyone, that Canelo bout is worthless. Who wants to watch Bud versus Canelo if he is slept by a smaller fighter?
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160.
But not 68.
Nah, Benavidez is... Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia. It's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Team Crawford has made a high-risk move. Yes, the pay is good, and the attention is bright, but it may cost him everything if everything goes wrong. This isn't simply Tank trying to get up. That is risking his entire mystique to hype up the next big fight, and it might not pay off. Tactically, this fight reads like a perfect contrast. Crawford shows superb footwork, uniform southpaw angles, and counter-punching accuracy.
Look up the definition of boxing. Please, look up the definition of boxing. The martial arts of boxing, and then come back with your opinion. Because boxing is not all about knocking somebody out. Yes, that's part of it. That can happen, but boxing is a sport where you can outpoint somebody too. That's why they go to the scorecard.
I appreciate that take, bro. That's real educated, man, real thoughtful. But you ain't had a decision in a long time, bro. You known for like being a great finisher. So I appreciate that. But that ain't how you moving though.
Right.
Follow for more.
Against Davis's big hands, powerful entry and high-speed burst and bash-style Tank's best efforts occur when he dominates range with unbridled aggression. However, he will face Bud, who rarely stands still and hits strikes twice as hard. Include Floyd's tips: how to lure Tank into lunging, when to time the straight left, and how to annoy Davis into making mistakes. And you have a plan to stun the world. So that's it for today's movie. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell button so you don't miss any future videos. Don't forget to add your thoughts in the comments box. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next film.